Every single expert, founder, advisor, whatsoever told me the same thing from day one. Ask for credit card data up front. And I mean, I read the data, it made sense, I knew that they were kind of right. I still feared doing it. Now, this week, after months of resistance, I finally did it. And I guess the reason I fought this for so long and I resisted doing this for so long led to the most important founder lesson I've learned so far. Let's get going. I mean, look at our graphs here. With SEO kicking off, trial signups, nice trajectory upwards. Traffic, nice trajectory upwards. Value received, sporadic, plateauing, not really doing much. Value received for us means a user has posted 3 or more posts. And this is the painful data that I just couldn't ignore anymore. People were signing up, going through our onboarding, and then ghost town. No posts, no engagement, just another ContentIn account sitting there unused. And now with signups significantly growing finally hit me. We don't have an onboarding problem. We don't even have a traffic problem. We have a commitment problem. These users weren't really failing, but we were failing them. We made it too easy to sign up and too easy to quit. Zero skin in the game means zero commitment to the outcome, I guess. Think about it. If you're not willing to put down your credit card for a free trial, how likely are you to commit to posting consistently on LinkedIn? So I think we kind of were attracting browsers, not really buyers, curious visitors, not committed creators. And this week we made sure to change that. So on Tuesday, we completely flipped the switch. Credit card now required to get the 14-day trial. Done. No more hesitation. I'm still scared. I'm absolutely sure this will tank our numbers. I actually expect them to drop by 70 to 80%, like people that finish the onboarding. But that's the thing about skin in the game, right? Even just a $0 commitment changes everything. The psychology shift is massive for every user. And users will be much more interested to actually try it out and to actually see how it's working and to actually give it a proper shot. The shot that ContentIn deserves, I guess. Users who put down their credit card make a statement. I'm serious about LinkedIn growth, ready to invest in my personal brand. So that's the bet we are taking. But credit cards alone don't create success. I'm also aware of that. So we built a full activation system to support the commitment and support the committed user. First, we introduced an activation checklist, and we want to nurse the user to schedule the first post, schedule the first 3 posts, and then check their weekly analytics, right? To actually see what's happening, to make it tangible through the analytics, what's been done. So post 1 time, small dopamine hit. Post 3 times, you're building momentum. Check your analytics. Now you're seeing real results. It's not complicated. It's just, you just got to do it to see it. Right. To support that further, we've also completely reworked our onboarding email series. I've done this last year and it took me, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks to create these onboarding emails. And now thanks to Claude, I was able to basically rework 10 or 11 emails in one day this week, which is amazing. And while I was doing that, I actually discovered this massive gap, right? So we had no emails and no support for people that have not posted yet. Right, so where the biggest drop-off was, there were no email onboarding series to actually support that and to actually help the user move or make that first step. And that's pretty much the big danger zone, right? That's where dreams and personal branding aspirations die from, like starting and then not posting. So now we nurture that and we encourage that moment with a 3 email series, and then we move on and then we do the same thing to nurture people to post 3 times, and then we nurture them further with other features that they should look at. Third, we're going to reintroduce weekly webinars starting next week. Fourth, I'm personally DMing new users that have not posted yet, and I'm asking them why every Friday. And the responses so far have been eye-opening and has helped us a lot. One other thing that we are doing in September, we are launching a posting streak competition with a WhatsApp community for accountability, because here's what we know from our onboarding surveys. Posting consistently is the biggest challenge that you guys have. And I think gamifying that with a little streak, we'll have a leaderboard and we'll have a support group. We can help each other out, maybe comment and like on each other's posts. I think that's going to be really, really helpful to like just get into gear and get trucking with your content. So all of this breaks down to one goal: help people get value from the product, and we want to make it as easy as possible to get committed, stay committed, and see results. I guess building this SaaS is the hardest thing I've ever done professionally. And here's what's crazy. I've made every classic mistake in the book, despite knowing better before. Take the credit card requirement. Every coach, every blog, every book I read, they all said the same thing: require credit cards up front, even for free trials. It will make your life easier and better downstream for a number of reasons. More committed users. You only get the guys worth spending your time on. You don't get, time wasters that just tell you something but would never really use your product in the first place. And I knew that this was correct. The logic is there. It all makes sense. I understood it. Free trials without credit cards attract tire kickers. I'm the same, right? Credit cards create commitment. I know this from personal experience. It's not rocket science. And yet I was still scared to do it, because I thought, oh fuck, nobody's gonna sign up anymore. Even though I understood the upside, that the people that are still signing up are much more likely to give the feedback that actually moves the product forward, much more likely to actually subscribe and become users, are actually people that are worth spending the trial resources on. It still took me months, actually years, to do it. And I think I finally understand why. So there's this massive gap between knowing something intellectually and knowing it in your bones. You can read all the books, you can read all the studies and talk to all the people, but some lessons, I think you just gotta feel the pain yourself before the solution becomes so obvious and it's like staring you in the face. It's like, you know that a stove is hot, but until you actually touch it with your hand, it's just information, and then it becomes education, which sinks in and persists or burns your hand. And I mean, it feels like every founder that I talk to at least is kind of having this experience of making the obvious mistakes. Not because they're stupid, not because they can't read, but because knowing isn't doing. I don't know, it's probably the ignorant tax. And I'm sure that you can speed up the process by reading the books, knowing about the stuff, talking to coaches, but maybe you still have to pay a little ignorance tax on all of this. The same goes for our users too, right? I'm pretty sure that everybody knows that they should post consistently. It's literally the number one thing they tell us in the service when they sign up is like, struggle with posting consistency. They've read the LinkedIn playbooks. They've seen the case studies. Every fucking LinkedIn coach is shouting it at them in LinkedIn. I'm sure they do understand that showing up daily is what builds the audience, but there's the same gap between knowing consistency matters and showing up every day, between understanding the algorithm rewards engagement and actually engaging after they post. Gap. So here's what I realized. We are not the information business. We are not the teachers. We are not the coaches. Our users have plenty of information. They are literally drowning in it. We are the commitment business. Everything that we are building is designed to shrink the knowing-doing gap and make it as easy as possible to come from knowing to doing. The credit card requirement forces skin in the game from day one. The activation checklist turns vague intentions into specific actions. I hope the September competition creates a social accountability, and I hope that the email nurture sequence catches users in moments of hesitation. At least that's the hypothesis that I've written on. So we're trying to create the conditions that turn knowledge into action. Because information, like what the LinkedIn feed is shouting at you without implementation is just entertainment, or in the case of the LinkedIn feed, distraction. And our users don't need more distraction, they need more action. Now, despite these challenges, or dare I say, because we're finally addressing them, I feel like momentum is building everywhere. These videos, I've never really expected much for them. I just created them as a weekly content pillar, right? To just create some content, create some shorts, create some stuff, just put it out there. So we have some, content to work with for our newsletters, for our posts, and so on and so on. But we actually got our first lead from YouTube this week out of nowhere. And it was like a very engaged lead. Reached out on LinkedIn to me personally. Super, super cool. So maybe these videos just might turn into more than just updates and content pillars for our LinkedIn posts. Maybe they could become a lead source in their own right. Very tentatively looking into this. But we actually had something of a viral short last week. I mean, got all of 32 subscribers in our analytics here. But look at this nice little blip with 2,150 views last Sunday. Basically coming from one short. That's a lot. And the short wasn't even good. That's nice. Feels good. Feels good. Done for you service, also crystallizing. Shout out to Mark for an incredible introduction to a perfect potential client for our pilot. We have our value prop down. We know who we want to target. And in September, we are starting and we'll reach out to people and try to sell it. Another thing we're trying is this video is an experiment. I'm trying to have more of one consistent story arc instead of several little splintered elements. Let me know if this is working. Let me know if this feels better to you. Are you still watching? Give me a like. That'll be great for analytics. Either way, everything that's working has one thing in common: commitment. We fully committed to SEO, and now we're fully committing to getting that value received KPI up. I've committed to these weekly videos a couple of weeks back, so skin in the game is what you need to be successful with whatever you do. Now, if you are ready to put some skin in the game, here is how I can help you. Path 1, start your ContentIn 14-day trial. Yes, credit card required, because if you're not ready to commit to try, you're not ready to succeed. Hard truth. This small commitment changes everything. It's still a free trial, don't worry. The difference is really between maybe someday and starting now. Path 2, not ready for the card. Join our webinar next week. Invites will go out to the newsletter list. It's for active users, but really I think there's value in it for everybody. So check your emails next week and join our webinar. Path 3, want the ultimate commitment and the least amount of effort on your part? Then send me a DM if you're interested in our Done For You service. And I'll put you on the list for September when we actually launch this service and our pilot program. Discounted prices. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Everything I've learned this week, everything I've learned building this SaaS is success requires skin in the game. Are you ready to bet on yourself and put some skin in the game? Send me a DM and let me know. Speak soon.